Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of Candid Meena. And today we have, the latest news from Rabia Khan's side. She had personally sort of, conveyed this message to be given to all the viewers of Candid Meena, especially. And we're going to read that letter and message which she gave us, and it's kind of it's a bit sad, but I mean at the same time the all the more reason why we should continue boycotting Bollywood, especially when so many cases are not seeing the light of justice, just like how Jia Khan case verdict was so unfair, right? In spite of so many evidences, Rabia ji gave right to the court. In spite of that, she's not getting justice for her daughter for the past 10 years, and she's been fighting non-stop, since 10 years. She has spent so much of money, and all she has and it's like all from her savings, right? All because and also the pain, the kind of pain she has suffered for 10 years and is still suffering, right, because of the Bollywood cabal, and how they destroy people's careers, right? So it's over to you. Welcome everyone. Welcome Divya, Zoya, Sonal, Mridula, Aarti, Maya, Priya, Pansy, Nina, Vidya, hi, Renu, Tuhina, Nimu, Tara, Sunita. Welcome. So we have a lot of people joining in, and it clearly shows the kind of support that Rabia Khan has in terms of viewers from our very own channel, Candid Meena. And Candid Meena has always been, supporting the cause of Jia Khan, especially with Rabia Khan. We have interviewed her multiple times, over the past few years, as you have noted, and the kind of pain and anguish which is in her mind, in Rabia ji's mind, we have seen that, and sometimes she used to get emotional. We also arranged several interviews with some of our lawyers, and also we had a person also who was specialized in postmortem, and yeah, it's over to you.
Yeah. So before we start on this issue, I'd like to tell all our friends that we had gone for voting this morning in the Karnataka elections, state elections, and we were some of the first few who landed at the booth, and we were able to vote, well, and the percentage of voters in Bangalore was excellent, and in Karnataka it is said to be over 66% voters turned up today. So it's a very good sign, and I'm sure we will also get very good results because we want a progressive government, a government that does not, say that Kerala story is fiction. We want a government that says Kerala story is based on facts, and that we will not make India, victims of the people who perpetrated sin, in the name of Kerala facts. Okay, so this is something we're going to make sure. That's how we all went in such large numbers to vote, because we want the next few generations to have a beautiful India that they can look forward to, and where they can succeed and dream whatever they want and achieve it. So welcome all
Yeah,
all,
even
all of
I
my
voted.
friends.
I voted, friends. So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So yeah, friends, if you do like our content, make sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends, and more and more people join, more people become aware, and you can see how we Candid Meena was one of the first channels to speak about the Kerala story last year, in fact. And while mainstream channels they ignored Kerala story, and it is only after few days before release and BJP, pushing the Kerala story that
especially Republic. I think
yes,
Republic also saw your headline, JD, and
yeah. So
so
whatever
yeah,
it is, I mean, the mainstream media only caught with the Kerala story later, right? We, Candid Meena, we reported this Kerala story is going to be a huge hit last year itself, and while none of the mainstream channels, picked up on that, right? So excellent voting in Karnataka let every state have the chance to achieve Sanatan Bharat Sanskriti. Yes, Sonalji,
Yeah.
justice for SSR, and yeah.
Okay. So, friends, let's start with what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was getting ready to, to get up early in the morning and go for election voting. And in the morning, when I got up to get dressed up, I saw a message from Rabia Khan. Rabia Khan had said, exactly in her words, the kind of experience that she underwent when she went to hear what the court had decided, the CBI court had decided. Now, I stopped doing everything just to read what she had said. I felt very, very sad when I read her words because a woman, she is a woman of steel who, in these past 10 years, has fought like no mother would have fought. Okay. She is the one who has inspired so many mothers whose children were murdered. Okay. And CBI did nothing in those 10 years. I'm sorry, CBI did nothing once they took up the case, which was going on for 10 years. And it is the same in the SSR case. The last 3 years, they did nothing, neither custodial interrogation of accused nor followed Raneji's, what you call proof. So the last tweet that I read from Rabia ji before we got this message was, the world can see through your criminal games, your trickery, your desperation, as you forcefully controlled those in high position. Your dark magic spells worked on them, but don't fool the world. All can see through it all. So now, friends, let me just read out her message. So she starts with, I traveled to Mumbai from London on early morning of 28th April, the day the court had reserved to give the judgment. I was waiting for this day throughout my flight. I was thinking, what will be the outcome of the long 10 years of my fight for my daughter Jia Khan's justice? I reached the court around 11:30, and 12:30 was reserved for the judge to read the judgment within few seconds. Within few seconds, the acquittal was announced. This itself was totally predictable. No one in the courtroom seemed to be surprised and shocked. I was taken aback for a few seconds that how come no charges at all? But then I soon realized that it was actually the correct decision of the court because the prosecution had not produced any evidence of suicide. So there cannot be an abetment of suicide. But the investigation should have been one of murder, and the charges accordingly would have been of 302 of IPC. This case was on the wrong track from the very beginning. All the evidences were pointing to homicidal death. Suraj Pancholi was accused of the wrong crime to start with. How can it be possible that police accused him of the crime when they had no evidence? All the evidences that I had given to CBI, like forensic experts' reports that pointed to murder, were simply ignored and were never produced before the honorable court by the prosecution. CBI just followed the police charge sheet, who had predetermined the outcome from the time Jia was found dead in her apartment. The entire trial was a mockery of the judiciary system. The court was following a higher court order pre-trial, the path they predetermined for trial court to follow to give an acquittal to the accused only to close the case. Given the fact CBI, who was asked to investigate the cause of Jia's death by the Honorable Mumbai High Court, CBI had absolutely no evidence for abetment of suicide. So the case had been on autopilot for an acquittal from the start. Within 2 hours, without investigation, the police declared it was a case of suicide and blamed Suraj for abetting Jia and charged him for abetment of suicide under Section 306 of IPC. It was a false enterprise and a distraction. In long 10 years, in the long 10 years, both the agencies of India, the police and CBI, did not find one single legally relevant evidence for suicide. It requires convincing evidence of an accused having directly driven the victim to commit suicide immediately before the act and prove any abetment of suicide allegations against the accused Suraj Pancholi. The burden of proof was so high, all the parties involved must have known the outcome, but none of it made legally or rationally any sense. Ironically, if CBI had any intentions of getting Suraj convicted for abetment, only place where, in theory, they could have found the evidence was the BlackBerry Messenger communication, which could have easily been retrieved from Jia's and Suraj's mobile phones. But the real phone of Jia Khan went missing. The ligature Jia was found and found with was also missing. All the main evidence went missing from the court. When I had submitted world renowned forensic experts' evidence, along with a picture of injury marks on Jia's body and neck, which pointed to homicidal death, to the court, there was silence, and no such evidence were produced by the prosecution. It seemed that court's hands were tied and lips were sealed. Another evidence that we tried to produce to the court was ignored. For example, Jia's and the accused's both phones' GPS history and chat of the accused Suraj's phone would have revealed his actual conversation and whereabouts at the time of Jia's murder. One of the manipulation of facts in CBI's charge sheet was that they kept people and court keep believing that they have done the investigation and there was nothing left, but conveniently failed to produce every evidence to the court. Even the last minute chat between Jia and the accused Suraj Pancholi. This is the kind of manipulation we had to deal with over the last 10 years. During the trial, it was soon obvious to me the CBI and the prosecution had been compromised because they never established the actual cause of death. Let me repeat this. The actual cause of Jia's death was never established. No evidence was sent for forensic analysis by the court. Instead, the CBI simply used the preliminary finding of the police appointed post-mortem report as the cause of death due to asphyxia. Over these 10 years, we had pointed out multiple failures and contradictions in CBI's narrative to the high courts, exposing their suicide story as medically and forensically unexplainable. The nature of the ligature marks on Jia's neck is not consistent with the pattern one would see in a suicidal hanging. There was one oval injury on Jia's neck for which nobody has ever come up with a credible and plausible explanation. Instead, CBI's own forensic doctors did not conclude their reports because they did not get the ligature to verify whether those injuries were consistent with the soft ligature. Instead, CBI relied on the testimony of a police's made-up breakup bouquet story to make this as a fake suicide story. CBI conveniently followed the Juhu police predetermined theory of suicide. The way CBI conducted the investigation was like reverse engineering to show the desired outcome and get the deal done. Suraj was an accused and he lied through his teeth. And both the agencies throughout honored his lies for reasons best known to them. My daughter Jia, who is no more to speak for herself, was blamed because that was very convenient for both agencies to blame the dead. Not only as a mother, but as a woman, I feel disappointed that yet again the system that we expect to protect us and serve us justice has failed us and made a mockery of its own system. We feel very disgusted at the fact that Suraj has shown absolutely no remorse whatsoever and has lacked even one iota of grace. He has gone on the record to rewrite history and put words into my daughter's mouth with the sole purpose of saving himself, knowing fully well that she can no longer speak for herself. He has insulted her and my family without a single sign of honor or decorum. We, as Jia's family, have fought for over 10 years and spoke for Jia, standing alone against the system and the abuse Jia was inflicted by the accused. The inequality and injustice that we have experienced through court is not explainable. To be clear, and for the eternal record, my daughter did not commit suicide and was such loved and adored by every single member of her family and anyone who she had come in contact with. So gentle was her soul, so generous was her spirit, so kind was her character, that by all accounts, including her own, she had everything to live for. We are particularly shocked and sickened by the fact that Suraj has tried to capitalize on her death by cashing in on the infamy and the theatre that he and his family have produced on the back of this tragic case. The fact that he handed out sweets outside the courtroom illustrates this and sums up his mercilessness. Suraj will one day have to grapple with the demons that he walks with. I have made peace with the loss of my daughter, and I leave to God to administer justice on whosoever murdered my daughter. So these are the words of Jia Khan's mother, who has fought for the last 10 years to get justice for her daughter, and which she did not get. Her sole blame has been on the CBI, who have messed up royally. And we, as viewers, are not surprised because this is the same thing that is happening in the SSR case. What is more, one more piece of news made me even more upset, and that is the former investigating officer of the drugs on cruise case registered by the NCB, Vishwa Vijay Singh, has been removed from service following a probe by the NCB in a case registered under the agency's Delhi zone. You remember the high profile drug bust on a cruise ship involving Shah Rukh Khan's son, who was arrested and later given a clean chit. No charge sheet was also filed in this case. V.V. Singh was the superintendent with the NCB's Mumbai office and was also the investigating officer of the case. After the clean chit to Aryan Khan, the Anti-Drugs Bureau suspended him and another officer over allegations of corruption in another drug seizure in the Mumbai zone. Singh, who remained under suspension, was facing an inquiry since 2019 related to a drug bust. The inquiry report, which came in recently, suggested that V.V. Singh should be removed from the service. Another officer, Vishwanath Tiwari, who was the intelligence officer, traveled to Singapore without permission from his superiors and the department and has been suspended. Then zonal director in NCB's Mumbai office, Samir Wankhede, was present at the cruise terminal when Aryan Khan was arrested. Wankhede's deputation with the NCB ended following several allegations of corruption and a vigilance inquiry by the NCB. Allegations that Shah Rukh Khan was being extorted for the release of his son from jail surfaced. Rupees 50 lakhs allegedly exchanged hands after Aryan Khan's arrest, and Shah Rukh Khan's manager, Pooja Dadlani, was contacted by some of the Punch witnesses who were informers in the case. The Punch witnesses were found to have clicked selfies with the accused, including Aryan Khan, while they were in custody. The NCB's vigilance inquiry found lapses and selective treatment by some senior officers against whom a probe was initiated. The vigilance inquiry report also found that some senior officers amassed disproportionate assets and that the expenditures exceeded their income, sources said. Samir Wankhede was sent back to his home cadre, the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, or CBIC. He is presently posted as the DG of Taxpayer Service in Chennai. So what more can I say, friends, except that the federal agencies that have the freedom to, to investigate cases, when they themselves are corrupt, what more can we say? Rabia Khan has very clearly spelt the kind of work that they had done once the case was handed to the CBI court. They did nothing. Nothing. They just took what was there before them and said that they had no evidence. Can you imagine? Now, the mother, in her own words, has given up because she doesn't have that kind of resource to continue fighting. Can you imagine, friends? She's a single mother. She's earning on her own. And she had to, pay for all the trips up and down. Every time this Suraj Pancholi would not come to court, she had to go there again. Look at the ways of the evil of world. And when as just before I went for voting, when I read Rabia's message, I was so sad that again we had failed a mother. How many mothers has the system failed? And what after this, what hope are we putting on the CBI in the SSR case? Very clearly, the woman minister said that it could have been a suicide. She insinuated that it would have been a suicide. So, is she telling us indirectly that she has some information from the CBI, that this is the case? Because now it's clearly pointing out that the CBI has some vested interests. Let them prove that we are wrong, or that Jia Khan's mother, Rabia Khan, is wrong. Because she has very clearly stated all the details. I want CBI to take it up and say that Rabia Khan, you're wrong. Will they dare do that? Now, what can I do except this letter, this message of Rabia ji? I'm going to send it directly to the Prime Minister. And I'll ask him, is this how we want to treat the mothers whose children are murdered so cruelly? Is this the message that we are going to give to other women? That we cannot protect our children, we cannot get justice for them. Now, whether I get an answer or not, that is irrelevant. As a leader, I know the Prime Minister has a good heart. And he has been busy with all these elections, and what has been happening in India, because he seems to be taking everything on himself. The people who work for him are just piggy riding on him. As we have seen, 2 or 3 ministers do nothing except pose with Bollywood actors, or praise them, or endorse them. Okay? So this, friends, I assure you that this will go to the Prime Minister, and let us see if we get a response for that. So let's
Yeah.
take some comments, Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some comments coming that PM don't get affected. He's in love with his power, says
No, Nitish,
Nitish.
here, let me just correct you, Nitish. See, I have been seeing a lot of negative comments from you about the Prime Minister of India. Please do not speak in this way. Respect our leader. Okay. The kind of progress that India has made under Prime Minister Narendra Modi is immense. Okay. Within 2 terms, he cannot change the complete system. Okay. What you say, there may be a lot of things that are right in what you say, but we will not have you speaking against the leader, because the amount of work he is doing for the country is immense. And if you do not believe that he's going to do anything, I believe, as a citizen of India, I believe that he will look into it. So let me do it. If I give up hope, then there's no point in my even running this channel, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I do believe.
Blaming each and everything on Prime Minister is not good, says Nandini. Well said. And officiate, I read some disgusting tweets of the actor. Yes, Prakash. Yes, absolutely. A great woman and mother, highly upsetting and shocked. Can't explain anything in the SSR case, says Sunanda. Minaji, please send to Law Minister Kiran Rijiju. Yes.
But Kiran Rijiju is busy pleasing the likes of Salman
Yeah.
Khan and praising
Totally agree
Salman
with you,
Khan
Minaji, for your
at the
comments
moment.
on our Honorable Prime Minister, says MS. Nina. Suraj will never be successful in life, as he's given a lot of pain to the mother who's wanting justice for her daughter, as he was involved with her. And also, Nina, as we please see, he comes out And he is in contact with who else but Salman Khan? Why should Salman Khan be happy with this verdict? That itself should put doubts into your mind, right? Maya, is this the Vikas we want in our country for our youth? Hope Modi ji has the time to look into the rot in the system. Proper steps taken and a mother's cry for justice does not go in vain. PM's intervention will surely give justice to Rabia ji.
I would like to add one positive thing which has happened is that the career of Suraj Pancholi never took off, and in spite of Salman Khan doing his best to launch Suraj Pancholi, give him so many films, none of Suraj Pancholi's films became a hit, and he's a flop star. And we can certainly know that karmic justice is working incredibly well, even though the justice of the country is not in serving well in this particular case of Jia Khan, right? And I do hope, we do hope that karmic justice will deliver even more, because we have seen that as proof of boycott Bollywood movement, and even now Salman's latest film becoming a huge flop. So it is not. It is the karmic justice which is now delivering repeatedly.
Tragedy has made Rabia ji a woman of steel. No one should have to go through what she's had to endure as a mother. Justice for Jia Khan, SSR Disha, Bangra Basra, Har Har Mahadev, says Sonal. Here, Jia mother's fighter until she's fighting for justice for 10 years. Yes. Here, let me tell you, friends, look at the audacity of the NCB to, to fire such a officer. What are they trying to prove? Are they trying to prove that if you work hard, you will be kicked out? So let us protect everybody. Let us protect Salman Khan. Let us protect every other person and say that we have the best federal agency in the world. If the Prime Minister will look into this, he will pull up CBI and NCB to ask them what they are doing and why, these officers have been removed. So these are things that he will have to look into. Let's just take a few more comments, Jaideep. Yes, we've already taken that. Meenaji, I'm just wondering how much guts this Bollywood had that he's openly showing his connections with Salman. You look at any Instagram posts, comments, you will see everyone knows she was murdered. Yes. Well said, Jaidev. I too felt it's karmic justice. I just think about Rabia ji all the time, says Nitish. It's affecting me. So sorry, ma'am, and sir, for my words. I'm just a teenager. No, Nitish, we did not take any offense. Only thing is, when you are speaking about someone as big and so respectable as the Prime Minister, we need to choose our words very carefully because he's doing a lot for the country. If we were in the same position, we would not even be able to do 1/4 of what he's doing.
But having said that, there are ministers in BJP who are very friendly and cozy with Bollywood, right? We cannot disregard that
and
fact.
that is what Nitish is most
Yeah,
probably referring to.
and we would like those ministers not to be given any sort of power in the third, sort of term when BJP comes into power next year. Yeah.
Can the Honorable President, who is a lady, have any power to give justice to Jia? She can understand the plight of her mother, says Chitra. Good evening. The opposition has played its game on all grounds, whether Jia's case or the Kerala story. They are trying to release it on common free channel.
Thanks, Vishali, and friends, do hit the like button.
Yeah. Yes. Jaydev, if we believe in only karmic
Exactly.
justice, then why is the justice system required in her country?
This is a very good question, and it seems that the justice system is only working for the middle class and poor people in India,
Yeah.
And in terms of the rich and powerful, they always get away with any sort of bullshit. So that's the state of things right now. And
And also,
yeah,
Rabia Khan, as she left the court, you'll see, she never cried. When she was speaking to the reporter, she was saying that, see, this is good because it was never a case of suicide or a went to suicide. Look at what she said. May all the powers, the worldly powers, all the godly powers be with her. And maybe come to some conclusion that can be like a miracle for her, is all I can say. Yeah, back to you.
yeah. So the disappointing thing is we don't have the so-called right-wing mainstream media channels. They have not taken up this story of Rabia Khan, sort of not getting justice, especially like Republic TV, who claims to be the right wing mainstream media channel, right? But why are they not questioning the likes of Suraj Pancholi and Salman Khan, right? Especially when we know that Arnab Goswami used to go very hard on Bollywood before he was arrested, and after the arrest, he has somehow he has gone very soft on the SSR case. He is and Bollywood, right? And right now you have a BJP Maharashtra government in Maharashtra, and so, what is he? And Shiv Sena is out of power, and almost they're fighting for their symbol and everything. And what is why is Arnab not going hard on Bollywood? Is it because of the advertising revenue, right? So yeah, let's take a few comments. Strong powers to her, says Shreyas. Yes, in our country, justice system doesn't make any sense whether it exists or not. It's clear case CBI is most corrupt, says Sunita, excluding judges.
Actor Kriti Saran attended the trailer a launch event for her Prabhas and Saif Ali Khan's upcoming film Adi Purush yesterday. Now, the star's white, gold, and red hued sari took inspiration from the purity, they say, of Sita. She's supposed to play Sita in Adi Purush. Now, on Tuesday, the Instagram of Abu Jani Sandeep Khosla shared pictures of her dressed in a custom designed white and gold sari, which she wore to the Adipurish trailer launch event. They shared all the intricate details of the design and wowed the people watching. According to their post, Kriti's double draped vintage Kerala cotton sari features a 24-karat gold khadi block print and a blouse came decked in tamba, tiki flowers, and emeralds. According to the designer, they used pure fabrics for Kriti sari because it had to depict the purity of Sita. It's about revival, it's about Sita. They added Kriti is a vision in a double drape sari featuring a mix of white khadi sari with zardosi border and blah 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 blah. Now, why I say blah 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 is that because it is not this sari that is going to determine how the movie fares. Now, already people, the boycott Bollywood, whole group have decided to boycott the film. And this is something we all have to strictly adhere to because they have absolutely no respect for our history, which they call mythology, okay, very conveniently to tell us that it is all fictitious. So this is something, and now what they've done is they take inputs from people and they try to improvise on it and correct some corners here and there. First of all, I'd like to say one thing very very clearly that Prabhas does not look like Lord Rama at all. Lord Rama was a person with absolutely innocent, beautiful features, unlike his, you know. And Sita is not one who is the kind who will be exposing herself the way Kriti has done it. And similarly, Hanuman doesn't look like
I
a
mean,
mullah.
it looks like a fashion shoot. The way
Yes,
Kriti Sanon is being
yes,
seated in this
yeah,
picture, you can see it is some fashion shoot for or advertisement for some sari or jewelry brand, right? It does not look like that she is acting at all, right? From her facial expressions, she has a wooden face, Yeah.
So Sonal says, Minaji, it's as if the stage is being set for SSR case. Golgappa minister's version of statement. 100% Sonal. This is what I understand. That she has, with inadvertently, let out, something, a secret of the CBI, you know. So you say that, see, Golgappa minister's version of statement, Rani is silence, CBI silence. They think the truth will upset the country. So now the people who need to be protected will be protected, and Ekta Kapoor will continue to make films for the middle classes, and they will just keep on what you call like chameleons, changing colors, and putting Ria in front of us and telling us that tomorrow she's going to be in the next year's Sita. She'll play the role of Sita, you know, and then perhaps even Rohan Rai will play the role of Lakshman. So these are things that they're throwing on our faces, and we'll have to lap it up because these ministers are saying that they are the best ambassadors. Chitra. Sita is worshipped as divine Mata. Kriti can never know or understand the divinity that goes with Miss Sita. She can pose as Sita based on some information, idea of the director. It won't work. Exactly. My tomorrow verdict on Shiv Sena's MLAs of Eknath Shinde group will come out in SC. AU saying that he has complete faith in judiciary causes worry whether the judges are already tilted. Yes, Maya, this is something even I'm suspecting. Exactly like Jaydev said, it's more like a fashion statement than a movie, the way Sita is posing. Apparently, Bhushan Kumar came out with the Ramayana video game, which is supposed to be really horrid. Kriti is not ideal for Sita. Ma, the agenda behind is yes, there is an agenda behind this. And what Shreyasta says is very true. It's shocking to see that Rabia ji and Jia's story has no mention by Republic or mainstream media because, see, it no longer suits them. See, it is gone and done with, you know. And here, friends, I will be talking about something more in one of the next sessions where these people are completely controlled by certain agencies in Bollywood. So that we will talk about in another session. Chitra says, better to go back and watch Ramayana by Ramanan Sagar than watch Adi Purush. Yeah, a new trailer of the film was unveiled on Tuesday, and it's safe to say it was slightly more believable than the dramatic teaser, is what the Bollywood PR is saying, which was turned down by viewers for poor VFX and Saif Ali Khan's look as Lankesh. The more than 3 minute long trailer shows the epic story of Ramayana with Prabhas. Here again, I would say that this is something we will not watch. So there's no point in even talking about it. Now, actor Tovino Thomas has reacted and spoken about the claims made in the recent film, The Kerala Story. The actor stated that since facts and figures were changed by the makers, the film story cannot be generalized to Kerala, where he is from. Directed by Sudipto Sen, The Kerala Story has come under controversy with calls for bans in a few states like West Bengal, Tamil Nadu. Since its release on May 5th, the film has earned over 45.72 crores at the box office. Tomino was in Bombay to promote his latest film, 2018. The thriller follows the stories of the 2018 Kerala floods and how people from all walks of life came to face the calamity together. Tovino revealed that he hadn't watched the Kerala story but was concerned by the misinformation that was thrown about of the number of women the story dealt with. He added that he saw the trailer and the numbers had been changed by the filmmakers. In an interview with Indian Express, he said, see, I haven't watched the movie yet, and I haven't spoken to anyone who was watching the movie. I saw the trailer, its description 32,000 women, and then they themselves changed it from 32,000 to 3. What does that mean? As far as I know, there are 35 million people in Kerala, and with these 3 incidents, nobody can generalize. I'll not deny the fact that this happened in Kerala. This might have happened, I don't personally know it, but I've read it in news. He continued, today, whatever we see are not facts, just opinions on 5 different channels. We see the same news in 5 different versions. So I know what is right and what is wrong, but I have heard these opinions. So I'll not deny the fact that has happened. But 3 out of 35 million cannot be generalized, and giving misinformation is very bad. Now, here, Tovino, I would like to tell you one thing. You are the person who supported Shah Rukh Khan many times. Okay. Nobody believes what you say. Now, when you say it was not 32,000 women, but only 3,000 women, according to the director of the film, perhaps you will just use your brain, if you have any, okay, and go back to history and see what happened during the time of the ISIS terrorist acts. Okay. What they did was over 60,000 Yazidi women were gang raped, ripped apart from their families. Their families were, fathers and mothers were killed, children were taken away from them, and they were sold as sex slaves. And this was taken up by the UN, and the UN started investigating the case. At that time, did you ask whether there were 60,000 women or whether there were less or there was only 3 women? No, you didn't, because your brain did not extend to that much information. It's limited. Similarly, in this case, when he says 32,000 women, the director has very clearly told me that there's more than 50,000 women who've been taken from Kerala. Okay, how does a number bother you? It doesn't bother you what happened to the women, that they were converted and they were taken there and they were sexually raped and thrown like animals to other men. This didn't concern you, and you say that it is fiction. How dare you? Today, when I heard this from you, I am promising myself I will not watch even one film of yours for the crap that you're talking about. Do you know what these women underwent? If you were a woman and you had undergone this, would you say this? You know what is the ISIS? ISIS are the terrorist group created by the Americans to capture Iraq and Iraq's oil supplies. At that time, the victims became the Yazidis because they were Hindus. So they were searching for more Hindu women. And they caught hold of these innocent women from Kerala who could be brainwashed easily. They were taken, they were converted. This is love jihad. Please understand that. And if you tell me in love jihad there are only 3 people, nobody agrees with you. And please, if you do not have the IQ to understand these things, do not comment. Just to sound, as though you are a part of Bollywood and that you're agreeing with Shah Rukh Khan or with all the Khans who did not say a word about the Kerala story because it did not suit them. Did Aishwarya Rai say anything? She goes around protecting her daughter at every function. Did she think about the daughters of these women? Did she swear a word for them? This woman who goes to all the fashion iconic centers to show her gowns and her plunging necklines? Did any of these women speak about the Kerala women who were sold as flesh? So this, I would say, just like boycott Bollywood, friends, these are the people you should boycott because we don't need such characters, to tell us what is the truth. You remember yesterday when we were talking about Tunisia, what did Tunisia's mother say? Tunisia's mother said very clearly, what are you trying to do? You're, making people like Shahzad, you're an ambassador. Are you trying to show us that, see, people who are involved in such things can become your models? So Tovino, with just 1 or 2 films under your banner or under your career, sorry, not banner, because you're an actor, you think you've become the top actor in Kerala? And that your IQ is so great that you know everything that has happened in the Iraq war? And who are you protecting? Are you protecting ISIS? Who is ISIS? ISIS are the terrorist groups. Do you know? Now, let me tell you one more thing. Okay, since I'm really in the mood. Okay, they invited one of the ladies to the the Isis invited them to this lady to their where they were staying, and they fed her son's meat. They gave her a lunch of her son's meat. She ate that unknowingly, and that was her son. And are you going to tell me that's a fiction? There were many women who went up the hill and jumped up so they did not have to give in to these gang rapes. Many Yazidi women committed suicide. They slit their hands, their wrists, with broken glass. You want to hear the horrific stories? Read about it, Tovino. Don't show us your low IQ. Because when you say such things, I worry about who has brought you up. Has a mother brought you up? Do you have a sister? Yes. Jade, let's take some comments.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite obvious he wants to, please the very people who are
Yeah,
paying
because he's
him
irrelevant and he wants some attention.
money, right? He wants to get roles, and unless he sides against the Kerala story, he's not going to get any film roles, right?
Ma'am, please request you that you please help Shraddha's father to get justice. Now you are faced for all of us. Yes, I will try, Pranjali. I remember Kajal ji said, Aishwarya and Big B is involved in selling girls. Women, what different they are doing? Maybe they are linked with ISI and many more groups in the world. That's why nothing happens to them. A lot of female movie stars are conscious themselves. They are just interested in self-promotion and getting roles by compromising their values. Gloria, one gutsy person I know whom to follow for the real and true happenings in society. And the word is Minaji. Go, lady. We are with you. Keep up your work and be fearless. Our nation. Thank you, Gloria. But these are things that are making us very upset, Gloria. I remember, yes, we've taken that. Minaji, you are a mother speaking on behalf of all these victims. Vidya. Bahubali star can never be accepted as Lord Rama. His image and physique does not match with the image of Lord Rama we carry in our head. Nina, Bollywood has been making a fool of the public. After SSR's death, everything is being exposed, which they never imagined in their dream. Now they want all the attention and are facing difficult times. Absolutely. The latest example is Shraddha Walker. Her father will protest for her justice. Nitish, it's more than 50,000. Terrorism is not newly introduced to the globe. Absolutely. Minaji, yeah, we've taken that. Shameless beauty ash. They're all like that, Nitish. It's just that they don't care about anybody else. Yes. So let's go on, Jerry.
Yeah, this is the final news for today, friends. And, we will see you tomorrow at the same time. And, friends, please do hit the like button and share it with your friends. And until then, Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jay.